Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The VA is now saving nearly $100 million. Actually, $98 million was the number that I saw. And the way they're doing this is they are eliminating 1,000 positions from the VA that are in the probationary period. Now, I'm going to talk about this on both sides because I think that we need to discuss this a little bit. And with that, let's jump into it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every thumbs up and every minute watched really does help to expand the reach. Now, you may have already seen this information floating around different news outlets, so forth, even YouTube videos. We have 1,000 positions that have been eliminated as of Thursday evening, which was February 13th. 2025. Now, of those 1,000, we don't know how many of them are veterans, but we know they're all people, right? So they're all people. How many are veterans? Who knows? Maybe, 30% or so, just because veterans tend to gravitate towards veteran affairs type of jobs, more so than your standard individual. So anyway, we don't know what that number is if we want to stay focused on veterans, but a lot of people are touched by a veteran, right? So it could be a family member of a veteran, so forth. So 1,000 jobs cut. Of those 1,000 jobs, that's 1,000 out of 43,000 probationary period employees. So employees that got hired on that are within that probationary period, there's 43,000. Now, of that 43,000, 1,000 have been eliminated as of Thursday, the 13th of February, 2025. Now, the question becomes, one, is it the right thing to do just to straight up go out and just let people go to save money? Well, probably not. It's probably not the right thing. It's not the moral thing to do. So there's that. And it's a bit distasteful, and I get it. We have a very large VA, okay? VA is 479,000 employees approximately. So it is a big organization, nearly 500,000 employees. Now remember, there were efforts underway to start trimming down the size of the federal government by offering that early, a buyout, if you will, for a resignation. If you resign, we'll pay you X number of months, and that email went out to all the federal government employees. Now, that number that has accepted that buyout is approximately 75,000. Of that number, I don't know how many are veterans, how many are Veterans Affairs, but approximately 75,000 have accepted the buyout. The target from the information I was able to find was approximately 200,000 was the estimated target for people accepting the buyout. So they fell short. Now the focus is, the easy road is probationary period employees. It's an easier a road to go to reduce employees. Now, the consequence to that is, look, you may have had 70% of those people that were going to be superstars, super performers, all of that type of stuff, the type of employees that you want, but now you just got rid of them. And now you're retaining the ones you might want to get rid of. Now, I get it. It is a much harder road to hoe, if you will, to get rid of an employee that's been there for, 10 years, 15 years, and you got to go through that whole process to get rid of them. It's difficult. And that's why they put in legislation to try to make that process a little bit easier. Now, the 1,000 employees represents, of the 479,000 total headcount, right? And I'm assuming that, the majority are full-time employees. So let's just, for all intensive purposes, say that it's full-time employees. 1,000 is less than 0.25%. Okay, so it's, from a percentage standpoint, it's small, but let's flip this script a little bit and say, okay, well, if the VA's mission is to end veterans' homelessness, why would you rip away somebody's job who's a veteran? Because you know there are some veterans in that 1,000 head count. Now, the VA is going to obviously redirect the money saved, which again is approximately $98 million, and they're going to redirect it back into veteran services. Well, guess what? Some of that's probably going to go out to help those homeless veterans, right? Good for you, VA. It's irritating to see that they chose to go this route, the easy road. I don't think the easy road was the right answer. I do think that there needs to be some right sizing, if you will. But to do it this way, probably not the smartest move. The optics, for sure, aren't good, especially on the heels of the message to veterans, right? Now, I get it. The message to the veterans from the VA secretary was, look, Doge and all those noisy outlets out there, look, we're not going to be cutting veterans benefits. You will not be affected from your health care perspective or your VA disability compensation perspectives. You will be whole. Don't worry about it. So I get that message, but this just doesn't look good from an organizational standpoint to just, probationary period, boom, you're gone for no other reason than the fact that you happen to be on your probationary period. And it happened to be the easiest of the 43,000 to get rid of that weren't deemed as necessary positions, like your VA healthcare workers and so forth, and also ones that were protected by bargaining unit type stuff. So the question though is, okay, now this is happening. You're saving $100 million, which is a decent amount of money. Let's not, shortchange that. The reality though is the VA less than a year ago, the VA said, hey, we need to trim 10,000 positions. And how are we going to do it? The VA says. And their answer to that rhetorical question was, we're going to eliminate those 10,000 positions by way of attrition, right? People who quit, people who move on, people who retire. We're just not going to refill those positions. So by natural attrition, we will shrink the VA, those 10,000 positions. The VA was on a hiring spree and hired the most employees they've ever hired before. And they talked about that, we've hired more than we've ever hired before, all that stuff under the entire VA umbrella, we'll say. And now, well, there could be some consequence to that. Do we trust the prior VA's numbers on this is how many employees we need, this is how many employees we don't need? Because, by the way, that 10,000 reduction changed to, oh, well, actually, we really need 5,000 more. But look at their budget as well. Sure, we're fine for our budget. Oh, no, we're short $16 million to, oh, well, really, we're not short that much. And on the benefits side, we have a surplus. We didn't really need the money we got. And on the healthcare side, oh, it's actually half of that. So there is a lot of, information that's not true and correct that we can really base anything on. And none of us are there looking into it. 1,000 employees, they are people who just got shafted for no other reason than the fact that they were in their probationary period and they were easy targets for elimination to help bridge the gap, I believe, on the shortfall of employees, federal employees that took the buyout offer. So they're trying to bridge that gap now by terminating the easy terminations, to terminate employees that fall under a very unprotected realm. Now, I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what you have to think or what you think about it. Do you think that it was the appropriate thing to do? Well, I think most people don't think it's the appropriate. Do you think it was necessary to eliminate 1,000 employees? That's probable, right? But which employees? I would have been a little more targeted on the exact employees and based on performance and that type of stuff, rather than just a blanket elimination like this. But in any case, we now have $1 million back into the kitty that's being utilized now back into veteran care and benefits. Do you think it was the right move? What do you think about the optics? Do you think there could have been a better way? With that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.